My precious things. The heart turns into stone, hardly stop. Bedtime story, happy ending game, just a snapshot in time. Life is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy the ride without sound downs. Precious things. My heart turns into stone, hardly to stop. Bedtime story, happy ending, it's just a snapshot in time. Life is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy the ride without sound downs. Bedtime story. Sometimes you have to play a faulty role, but what matters is that your eyes shine in the moment. Happy stopper. Bedtime story. Happy ending. You just possess something time. Life is a journey, not a destination. Enjoy the ride with ups and downs.
Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I usually write games for fun, but today we're going to be throwing our face in trying to make one again. So, hi everyone, a little bit later than usual. I had dinner, I proceeded to get ready to stream, said, uh-oh, and I have been pretty much laying down in bed because my stomach was killing me. And so, yeah, I kind of woke up more, oh god, my gut is on fire, please god, kill me, I wish to die. Why? I do not know. It just, I think I ate too much or something. I cannot tell you. All I know is that I was not feeling good, so I kind of got up right now. I'm still not feeling 100%, but I will have to entertain the masses. You people want a clown show, and I am nothing but God's silliest soldier. So, let's do a little bit of a recap, as one might call it. Let me hit my no, that's the wrong one. Why do I have so many of these? Oh no. Hey, hey, hey. Hello, 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 Kalu Kalay. So, as we can see, I have successfully moved Ludus Maximus to the ever-growing pile of really large things. Ludus had, let's see, 330 objects in it. Yes, 330. let's attempt to see. It still has not beaten the almost 500 objects of Palinka effect, though the yes, nearly 500 unique objects in Palinka effect, because yes, it will count all of these things. So this is Cardboard Hustle. What is Cardboard Hustle? Well, this is where things get a little bit weird, and I'm going to do my best to explain what this game is. So what this is the tabletop role-playing, is the TTRPG of a fictional anime based on a fictional card game. Now, if this seems a little bit convoluted, it's because it is. Nintendo Labo? My fucking ad block has stopped working. You have uBlock. Yeah, uBlock's been acting up a little bit. Because Google has officially shot it in the back of the head. It's now, I believe you have to use uBlock Lite. So if it, yeah, it's a silly Billy scenario, a little bit of a goofy scenario, a goofatronics situation. Yeah, my problem is I keep getting the exact same ad. How much are you being paid for this weird concept? An amount of money I have yet to determine, because there's a few things going into this that I'm still kind of like hemming and hawing of what to charge. Because what needs to happen is, not only do we need to write the TRPG, like this is important. We need to write this. We also technically need to write the card game. We need to write the card game that the fictional anime is based off of to make the TTRPG off the fictional anime based on the fictional card game. Hey Notepad, what the fuck are you actually talking about? What is this? What is this esoteric 9D shit posting? Well, effectively, they want a Yu-Gi-Oh game. They want a TRPG based off of Yu-Gi-Oh, but not the card game necessarily. They want it based off the anime. Let us not forget, card games on motorcycles. Yeah, card games on motorcycles began here. I believe it's this one is Parkour Civilization. Like, what is? Let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh 5, no, not 5D, is Zexal, I believe. I wanna, what's Zexal's, like, yeah. Yeah, there's aliens involved, man. People turn into a fucking god, there's aliens involved, they're trying to, duel one another. Fucking 5Ds exists, man. 5Ds is on motorcycles. Like, get on the motorcycle. Like, why are we on motorcycles? Because fuck you. Like, we're on motorcycles because fuck you, that's why. I don't even know what's the Yu-Gi-Oh series? Like, what is even the most recent series? I was like, alright, yeah, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, 5Ds came out like 5 days, like, the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out in 1998 or 2000. Fuck. What? No. No. Why is it? Oh, sweet Jesus. GX was 2004? Oh, God. Okay. Let's just feel old again. Okay, like... What the fuck is Zexal even about? fuck is Vrains about? Okay, so it's Go Rush. Okay, so let's see. What's the plot of Duelmont's by being an amateur spirit called Astral and helps him to win? Ah, of course. Yeah, the World Duel Carnival Tournament. Various rivals, including Vengeance-seeking Vetrix and the maniacal Dr. Faker. There's magic numbers. It's magic numbers. And possibly space magic. Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay. What's Arc 5 about? Like Paradise City and Yusho Duel School. Professional duel tainer. He can pendulum summon. Oh, Jesus. Okay, it's alternate dimensions. Fucking what? What is Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s? Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7. What is Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s about? They literally made an anime about someone saying, I want to play my own version of the game. What? What? They're making a new series? Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Like, hey, gods exist since the beginning and it's only aliens that are new. Last one to actually work is the first follow-up with the new MC with the superhero cards. God, I remember the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic number. Gotta get. Weird esoteric anime. Yeah, no, it's what I'm trying to say is like we need to adapt the insanity of the anime, you know, of these card game animes, and not just this one, because there's plenty of other ones. Let's not forget Card Fight Vanguard, of course, and put it into a TRPG, because the ultimate goal would be how do we play children's card games on motorcycles. This is essential. If we cannot play this children's card game on motorcycles by the end of this, what is the point? But Tummy Hort, but Mimi beer. Yeah, Bakugan got weird. Fucking Beyblade got weird. Beyblade had Moses part the Red fucking Sea, man. Like, with a Beyblade. Let's not forget this. Pharaoh, let my people go. We have to Beyblade battle. And then the Pharaoh pulls out a goddamn deck. Like, but yeah, it's right now what we need to do. Why is why are you not locked? Right now what we need to do is we need to write the card game. What does this mean? We need to write the game that all of this shit is based on. This is why I'm a little bit horrified. I think that might be the proper we were adapting the anime and not the card game, so we were abstracting it. No. Oh, Theo. Oh, sweet innocent Theo. One of the biggest things about this was that he didn't like the idea in some of these games where they abstract the card game element down to nothing. That's where the idea that we need to make the card game we need to be able to play the card game in the middle of the TRPG, which is why I'm saying we need to make a card game, make a fictional anime series out of that card game, and then make the TRPG based off that fictional anime based on fictional card game, but it's a real card game. It is multi-dimensional shitposting at this point, with multiversal time travel. It's great. See, that's the beautiful thing is we can get the rules wrong by virtue of we're just not going to be talking about the rules as necessarily. So, mostly because we just won't have cards necessarily, because luckily enough, we don't actually have to make all of the cards to this fictional card game, because that's where you, the player, comes in. You're building your deck, right? And if you're building your deck, you get to know what cards you have, right? It's because, like, at the end of the day, like, if you look at like a Yu-Gi-Oh card, like, I want to do like fucking Man-Eater Bug. Fuck it, we all love. Hey, I don't make fun of my boy Man-Eater Bug here. All Man-Eater Bug is insect type. He has an effect. On a flip, destroy one monster. That's all he's doing. All of this is broken down. At the end of the day, every single Yu-Gi-Oh card, roughly, and a vast majority of these games, trust me, I was looking at a handful. Most of these games rely on, oh, what is it? Well, it's this. You have your star limit, you have your type, you have what effect it is, you have what the effect is, attack and defense. You know, an attack and a defense card. That's really all a card is. At the end of the day, this is all that it is. Even if we look at like the One Piece RPG, like if we do like One Piece card game, like, let me see, can we find like, there we go, here's Luffy. Like, if we look at Luffy, you know, good old fucking fashion Monkey D. Luffy, it's the same idea. It's like, okay, here's what it is, here's this, here's this. Things are pretty regimented because it needs to be a card game to follow card game logic. That's what we need to, when we're making characters or making decks, you know, making cards for our deck, we're just going to be obeying this pretty much. You're going to be making your cards and making your deck by doing that. We're effectively going to let players design their own cards. Because, hey, we can do that. Ha ha ha. Think smart, not hard. You build your deck with points just like a war game. Now you need to consider war game balancing. Don't bring evil into this house, Spartan. It's not even necessarily like that, but it's like, oh, hey, you've created a super strong monster. You can only get this super strong monster out at a very late point in the game. Alright, reasonable. That takes time, and you're going to get your shit rocked in between there. So, you need a 1-drop in case you don't get your 2-drop. That's kind of the idea there. So, I've been consulting a handful of TCGs. I've been working with the commissioner on this. And roughly speaking, we've been looking at some of these ones. Now, I managed to kind of reduce things down a little bit because I think the idea of it's focused on a deck master. Now, in Yu-Gi-Oh terms, a deck master is a format that was used during a very certain arc, and they never really developed it any further than that. Concept of a deck master is, hey, you have your leader of your deck, your deck master. You can bring those out at different times, and you can use them to do certain things, and they all have special effects. Mind you, they don't actually have special effects, because again, they didn't really support the format. It was in the show. So, but the concept is still there. You have your, if I fucking select the right things, you have a deck master. This is what your entire deck is based around. Now, well, we can do this in TRPG terms. This is effectively you in a way. It's a little bit more convoluted. Now, in your deck master, you're going to have either companion cards, which are minions, affecting, companion cards / minions / monsters or whatever. Effectively, they are your run-of-the-mill monster cards. And then I was thinking, like, do we have something like attack cards? We have our spell cards and our trap cards. We want to have something like that. I don't know, because we're working on a very odd concept. So, I'm going to bring up a handful of games that we were looking at. This is the One Piece RPG. What is the One Piece RPG all about? Well, the One Piece RPG, main focus is you have your captain. Here's Monkey D. Luffy. Your captain is effectively a pretty supercharged character by themselves, and they can take a number of hits, and when they go down, you lose. This is your life, but some captains have a lot more going on, some have special effects, some have special abilities. That's kind of the idea. If we look at One Piece card game, like we look at Chopper, for example. Chopper, the random fucking dude we bring out onto the field, not the real Chopper. This is still a fucking tie-in game. So, yeah, some of them have special abilities, some of them have special things. That's kind of the concept. Okay. One of the big things is they have the idea of the Dawn cards, which are a resource card that you can spend to make your guys a lot stronger. I'm like, okay, we have something like that. Now, if you are a old man such as me, you might remember the Warcraft TCG. You might remember the Warcraft TCG, which the idea of the Warcraft TCG was, you guessed it, kind of the same premise. Had very different mechanics, but hey, you have the idea of, here is a leader card. You build your deck around the leader card here. I'm like, okay. I like the idea of this card game being focused around a leader card. Why do I like that? Because I think the idea of a leader card is going to help us in the long run. I think that's a very important thing. What do I want to call it yet? I do not know what I want to call the leader card. We're just calling them the leader card for now. I summon Master of a Good Hand. Broken-handed hook. Living the dream. Would you say the One Piece TRPG is decent or no? Do you like One Piece? If the answer is, I love One Piece, then you're going to like the game a lot more than if you don't really know One Piece all that well. I don't know One Piece all that well, so I was like, yep, it's definitely a game. That's why I was looking at some of these other ones. Like Zatch Bell has like the Zatch Bell TCG. Even if you have no interest in Zatch Bell, I do recommend people look at this because it's fucking weird, by the way. Because the Zatch Bell TCG does require you to use a spell book and your spell book doubles as your, effectively doubles as your deck, as well as the resource to cast all your abilities, and your life. So if I want to use an ability that costs 3 or summon someone that costs 3, I have to flip a number of pages equal to 3. Which is effectively saying I am having to burn my life and certain cards to actually play, you know, certain spells and effects and some of the characters. It's very fascinating. It's extremely bizarre, and it is a fascinating thing. That's all I can really say. But I'm like, okay, I like the idea, like, okay, you know, it's a little bit more thematic, it's a little bit more, okay, we're using maybe, you know, decks to learn about things. Okay, easy enough to understand. Wixos has, like, the Wixos and HoloLive games also kind of focus on the concept of like hero cards. Vice Schwartz is very strange. We also were looking at a couple of these games. Millennium Blades, if I remember correctly, it was effectively a board game about a card game. That was the entire joke of it. It was a board game about a card game. And I'm like, okay, it's a CCG simulator, but without any of the problems of CCGs. And yeah, I'm like, okay, like what are we working for? So had some feedback from the commissioner. They want it to be more like Commander. If you've ever played Commander, that is what we're working with here. That is the dichotomy of what we want the leader to be like. Yeah, we can call them lords, you know, or with the meme is puppetry, you could call them puppet masters, or a musical motif, you call them conductors. Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm like, okay, it's esoteric lore, that's all I know. We're looking at completely insane esoteric lore, and that's why I'm like, okay. But I'm trying to think of, like, okay, just right here. One of the ideas what I want to have happen with the TRPG is that your leader card is kind of kitty corner or directly related to you, the player, to you, the duelist. Where you, the duelist, have, their own benefits, and you're using your leader card to do things. That's the weird, cool expression. It's like, cool, I'm Ryu Kanekura or whatever. Here's my literal fucking stand or whatever, who is a gigantic demon dragon that whispers sweet nothings into my ear or something. I don't know what. It's got wings. It's a demon dragon now. I don't even know what the fuck. Like, okay, cool. Like, you're playing this dumbass. You are playing Ryu Katakura. Your giant cool demon dragon is a leader card, but that you custom make to build your own deck around, with the idea that's the main plot of the game. Is, oh no, these things are real. Fuck you, I guess. I'm improvising here. So yeah, that's kind of the idea there. Now, we want less Voltron. One original idea was, if you've ever played Magic the Gathering, concept of Voltroning, or just about any card game, is we have a single character, and we're going to equip them with items, or we're going to equip them with a bunch of gear or something to make them super powerful. That's the concept of the Voltron. Usually don't pop off until you've got them all their items. Some games focus around that. We don't want that. That is one idea right here. He did not want that. With less Voltron, more Commander. So we do know we do want companion cards, which are going to be our, I'm going to just call them monster cards for right now. We know we want those. We know we want spell cards. What does this mean? I don't know yet. We know we want... The best way to think about them would be ability, quote-unquote, ability cards. Are they all strictly trap cards? Or are they all strictly spell cards? I don't know yet. We are improvising. Now, I'm trying to think of, like, what else would there be? Because I was looking at the Gundam TCG called Duelists. Yeah, they're the Duelists. Battle Dueler. Man, they were having the idea of dual energy at their... People would literally play children's card games to power the city. Have no fear, we have renewable energy, dual energy. Delicious. I joined Power Station. I have children's card game. You doesn't take too much in dues. Yeah, you joke, but yes, that is a part of the plot of 5Ds. 5Ds is weird. 5Ds is a weird experience, and we're just like, alright, that's kind of our baseline here. Now, what I was thinking about doing, you know, like, okay, we've got this. What I was thinking about doing is basic card game logic. I'm trying to think, don't think TRPG. All of this is not real. We are just worried we are making a card game. That's all we're doing. We're just making a card game. So, let's think. I want to be the very best that no one ever was. I guess you could have like item cards. Like you can equip things, like that's one thing. Because I was thinking about having like super types. Like in the game itself, in the card game, you have 3 super types of, you know, play styles. Okay, easy enough to understand. One of them is, you know, kind of like hero-centric. Hey, I'm just going to... Everything buffs the hero. Easy enough. We have kind of like a... God, what was it? I wrote all of these down in the middle of the store. And I forgot. Why did I not write these down? I had them all. They were perfect. Fuck. Effectively, the idea was... Most of the game is built around 3 very basic super types of actually playing. Fuck, I completely forgot what they were. Shit. I had Damn it. I had everything and now they're gone. Shit. Hort-centric. I can't remember what it was, but it was effectively, do you want to rely on your hero? Does your hero rely on their monsters? Or are you trying to use a lot more abilities? Are you the duelist doing things more? Where it's like you're casting cards and stuff and it's just a bulwark. That's why I'm like, okay, like fuck. There was one I was making, one of the jokes was going to be there was a 4th super type about the idea of control, and nobody liked control, so it went away. It was effectively, do we have pendulum summoning? Because there's, again, I mean, if we really think about, I mean, let's, do I have this? Do I have Cardboard Hustle? Like, yeah, a Lovecraft Dreamland-esque other dimension for infinite power. Everything goes horrible. Everything has to be used with that. Okay. So, wonder, is there an SMT card game? There is technically a SMT card game. Let's see. You'll be summoned to fight against opponent's party's attacks. Attack the party. Human card with no summoning cost. They provide required for summoning. Magic items. Yeah, okay. So same basic principle. You too can get your very own demi-fiend god. Okay. I mean, I guess we could do something like that. We could make a SMT inspired one. All right. Like, I don't even know really where to start with this. Like, it's such a fascinating shit show. Like, will you be simulating power creep throughout generation or release or whatever you call them? Like, we can't like simulate things like that, but that would be like kind of one of the jokes of making enemy cards is like, yeah, they're power creeping. Yeah, it's just character progression. Like, yeah, everyone's getting stupider and stupider cards. Yeah, that's how you level up. You got to get your booster packs. So, okay. I mean, if we use this idea and we want to do a, basic overarching premise is a Lovecraftian nightmare reality children's card game thingy. I'm gonna put that up there. So we've got our leader card. Okay, so we've got our leader card. Now, if we do... He has said that he does like the One Piece card game. So... So what we're going to do is maybe we have like a resource. Like resource cards. Because again, in the One Piece RPG, in One Piece TCG, you have the concept of Dawn. These cards down right here. Dawn let you play cards as well as buff cards up. Some things require special abilities, require Dawn cards, and he does like that. So I'm like, okay. We like that. We want that. Let's do some... Let's Hololive TCG. We're gonna learn how to play the Hololive TCG, everyone, together, because I think this is very important to Hololive TCG how to play. I want to learn how to play the Hololive TCG with my friends right now. That is 20 minutes. Not twice far. It's basically 5 minutes. Pokemon, but anime girls. Okay. I can get behind that. Let's learn, everybody. Oh, yo. Okay. Oh, yo. This is going to be a lot of TCG jargon I'm not going to get. You're assumed to sell off all duplicates, only get the unique cards, so you might just get $5. You might get $4 in a rare or something.
Hello everyone, Kids here. This time giving you a quick rundown of a brand new card game coming out in about a month or so from now. The official Hololive card game. For those of you who don't know, cute anime girl
Okay, let's...
game is to perform on stage to defeat your rival and win the X-Streamer Cup. You could do so by either depleting the opposing Oshi's Hollow Life to 0 by defeating the indicated number of Hollow Mems, reduce the number of their Hollow Mems in play to 0, or by your opponent decking out. Defeating Hollow Mems is a lot like earning prizes for defeating your opponent's Pokemon in the Pokemon card game, except that you get one each time you lose life instead of the opponent. And if you run out, then you lose. There are 4 types of cards in the Hololive card game in total.
Okay.
The Oshi card, the Hollow Mem card, the Cheer card, and the Support card. The Oshi card is essentially the representative of the deck. In other card games, I believe this would be referred to as a leader or hero card. They have Hollow Life, which represents how many of your Hollow Mems can be defeated before you lose, used once per game, which acts very similar to a Pokemon in the longer and to trigger their higher stages bloom effect when played.
Okay. So this is kind of like the, I believe it's Vice Forts. Because one of the ideas in Vice Fort Schwartz, and in turn, I guess the Hololive RPG, is you have you have your base card, like you have your base like monster card or whatever, and being like, okay, I want to improve that monster card, so you put the next one over it, and this is the level 2 monster. This is the level 2 monster. Then you have, later on, like, oh, cool, I've got the level 3 monster. And then there's the 4th one, which is the level 4 monster, but that's, very difficult to get out. So this is kind of the idea there. So it's like, is that a good idea? Like,
the Cheer card is the leader. They have effects, HP, attacks referred to as arts, which take energy referred to as cheer, and then they even evolve through the bloom mechanic, which allows them to become stronger and to trigger their higher stages bloom effect when played. The cheer card is the same as an energy card in Pokemon, except that they go to their own deck and you deal the top cheer card onto one of your Hollow Mems each turn instead of adding them to your hand. Finally, there are support cards, which are a lot like trainers and supporters in Pokemon. They can become equipment to boost your Hollow Mems or various other effects. You can only use one support card labeled as limited per turn. You also can't use your limited support cards on the first turn. Your playboard looks like this.
Okay. The idol industry is fucked. It's great. The idol industry is fucked. The game? Yeah, pretty much. So, okay, so... I mean, I wish to learn more about the Wick Sauce. Yeah, Wick Sauce has its own rather extensive... like, how do we play Wick Sauce? God damn it, no. I don't want the fucking... Like, let's see. Oh, yeah. So this is kind of the idea of like, oh, we have the idea of like, here you go, this is where you started up, and then you start improving your different characters. Yeah. I do believe, yeah, these can get pretty extensive. It is, these are your LR, level 0 L rigs. Okay, so I mean that's Wix. What's Vice Shorts then? Vice Shorts just fucking 17 minutes. How to actually play. How to play this. Here's the official TCG trailer. Here's the unofficial one. Here's the fucking meme edit one. I'm losing my again. I feel like I'm like entering into like a completely different world. It feels like sometimes. Let's light Weiss Schwartz, and I think that's very fascinating. Like, this is the official version, by the way. Like, this is important. Like, this is the official like tutorial that they are showing. I mean, I guess there's. Yeah, idol industry's always been fucked, but look at literally any entertainment industry. That's one of the unfortunate things. Look at literally any entertainment industry. You can see like, wait a second, that's a little bit fucked up. That's not quite right. I mean, okay, so we know we want a resource card or something similar to that. Do we want to have the ability to like level up? Like, one thing I should say is, monster levels, like fewer, like effectively fewer monsters overall, but you have kind of the idea that I'm thinking of is, let's say we have our legally distinct Meowchu. Here's Meowchu. It's my cool, legally distinct, entirely distinct monster creature who is level 1. Now, Meowchu is our oh god. Oh Jesus. Jesus, Mother of Mary. There we go. Fucking deafening myself with my own music. I was deafening myself with my music. I turned up the music to my headset to make sure I could hear the explanation of the Wixos TCG, and then turned on the bass background music again, and nearly blew out my eardrums. I was like, oh Jesus. But yeah, let's say we have our level 1 Meowchu. We love Meowchu. Meowchu is adorable. Now, do we want to have the idea that because Meowchu is level 1, he will always be level 1? Or do we want to have the idea of like, oh, we can improve Meowchu, and now Meowchu, I don't know, Meowchu's just bigger or something. Meowchu does his taxes. Meowchu avoids governmental overreach and doesn't pay his taxes. Level 2. Yeah, it's like, do we have this idea or do we scrap that? Like, because if we do the idea of let's have like monster levels, like we can actively do that, then we're going to need fewer monsters. But if we do like set monsters, then we can have more per deck. Then we can have more per deck, but they are static. Fluctuate. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I guess that could be like a mechanic, is like a sacrifice mechanic or something. I don't know. Okay. I guess this asks further questions of like how do you make a blue deck? Is the premise of a blue deck a thing? Yeah, like how do we like how do we break it apart? Because either we can go with the idea of, hey, here is like a color code. Like here is a color code. Do we just do it by like monster tags? Like monster tags / features or something. Hey, because your leader has the horror tag, he can only bring horror monster cards into his deck, and he has to worry about any tags that play off of horror cards or something. That's like an idea. Like you have to now play around that. Or do we do like, oh, here is red, blue, red, blue, green, white, black kind of thing. Like both of these have their slurs. I guess that also extends a lot to just the cards in general, where it's just the idea like how do we build a deck? Okay, so I was hoping we had some more TCG nerds in the chat, but we don't. So I'm kind of flying blind here, people. You're lords of the locker room. I am not a TCG guy. Okay, what do you need? I'm like, man, I don't even know where to fucking start with this. Like, I think that's like one of the problems I'm having here is like with a TRPG, I'm like, okay, I feel pretty confident enough to know like where to start. Here, I'm like, okay, like, well, I guess the basic premise is still the same. If we look at all of these, the basic premise remains the same. What do we want to have happen? What we want to have happen is my guys beat the shit out of your guys. So, basic idea. Let's just write it out. So, X is... so, leader card... Let's see, the duelist deck... They have a type... No. First, you need an abusive rarity system. I don't need... So, let's just think about it as a... We want to make our... So, let's say we've got our... Let's say these are our monsters. That's what we're going to call them for now. Let's say we put our commander, our CO right here. This is where our where our actual commander is. Maybe like this is our like resource deck. Like this is our resource deck. Unless we want to do the idea of like the fucking Gundam game, like the Gundam equal more power cards equal more effects. Because we can either do the Gundam TCG concept here, which I'm not opposed to with the concept here. I'm not opposed to the Gundam TCG concept. Because one of the things with the Gundam TCG, if I bring that up, is where is it? So the more of these like power cards you end up getting, the more, you know, things like that, more special like resource cards you get, the higher your level is. So if you have a high level, that means certain things trigger off your higher level, but you always are getting them, so you want to spend those cards to do something. Like Gundam TCG concept, more power cards equal more effect, or we do the One Piece TCG, where it's like power cards are both there we go. It must be spec to recruit. People getting caught beating other people or buying them with limited resources that people spend on keeping you alive. I think the relative duality between sci-fi real world of Yu-Gi and the more fantastic world, which is shown in the cards, is pretty cool. Maybe do like a fantastical real world to make the TCG sci-fi. Like, he kind of has an idea what he already wants the setting to be, because you gotta remember, this is still a commission project. A lot of the setting details are very up to him. That is oh, big stretch. A lot of the setting stuff is up to them. We're working in void in that regard. Like, that's one thing here. We are kind of working in a void. Well, Horace, where are you? What is the fruitful void? Is that what it's called? If we want to make a if we want to make the idealized card game, we have to have a system with absolutely no cards or gaming in it. It's true. It's the fruitful void. Fucking fruitful void, I swear to God. Let's see. CCG, One Piece. We equip on the monsters. Equip on monsters or leader. To give them special effects. We need to have it like that, but certain cards are only really going to be useful for leaders, or certain other cards are going to be useful for monsters. Because one thing I do know we need a very controlled deck. Like, that is a That is something that I think is going to be very essential to this. We need a controlled deck size. What is the deck size has to be smaller than you would think, because again, what we need to do is still inevitably transition to this. I think that is something very important to consider. Now, I think this is going to naturally occur because, you know, no one wants to make 8 million cards. But, like, maybe we make a deck size of, like, 20 cards. Like, 20, 30 cards. Like, 30 cards max-ish. I think that's what they call limbo in Hazbin Hotel. Or it's asking, how do I get a fetish in 2 entire separate VCs is fucking whack. What do you fucking mean he's asking again? No. No. Stop it. Both of you. All of you. What do you mean again? Well, see, that's even a question that we have to ask ourselves as well, which is technically in these games and a lot of the Bushiroad RPGs, resource cards are not actually mixed in with the main deck. They are a separate thing entirely. So if we're playing something like the Pokemon TCG, or actually if it's like Magic, for example, a good example would be if you're playing Magic, except every turn you will inevitably play a land. You draw from a land deck. You put down a land that you drew from a land deck. But there's only one type of land. A lot of those Bushi card games do follow that very similar idea of like there's one type of land that is, or there's one type of energy resource to use, and it's a reoccurring thing. Like if we do like the Gundam card game. Yeah, it's like these energy cards are not actually implemented with the deck, but it's also one of those things where you get the cards every you get the cards every 5 minutes. Hello, Bandai. Hello, Bandai Namco. We love Bandai Namco. Yay! Everybody cheer for Bandai Namco. We love Bandai Namco. Bandai, tell me more about Bandai card games. Yeah, because I've realized gradually there are a lot of card games. And yes, in case you're wondering, I have gone over, I've had to read a lot of these. And they are all insane. Even though a lot, like the One Piece and the Gundam card game, like these go together really simply. Like most of them follow the exact same format, if that makes sense. Yeah, here's Bandai stuff. Yeah, plastic models, figurines, and robots. Amusement prizes. If you want to get into card games, it's right here. We love card games. God bless it. God bless him. We aren't doing this again. Resources summon, or are you just putting them out? They're literally land cards. I don't know. Like, again, that comes to the idea of, like, do we want the One Piece TCG or do we want the Gundam TCG? Because the idea of the Gundam TCG is like a control, like you want to, on one hand, you want to build and burn. That's like a very big idea in that. I want to burn my power level down to do a big effect because I'm going to get more power cards to do more things next turn. Contrasting the One Piece TCG, on the other hand, which is extreme ramp. Because the idea is all of your Dawn cards, you know, a Dawn card can be applied to another card to give it bonus attack, which will make it win contests. Which makes, oh, well, that's really good. You know, that's a plus, you know, +1 in a game where if you beat them by anything, pretty much, you win. And you can apply that, being like, hey, here's a character with 1,000 attack power against a character with 2,000 attack power. I put a Dawn card on them, suddenly they're even, and now I'm going to win. That's kind of the idea. They don't go away, they're still there, but yeah, both of these have an interesting idea that I don't hate. And that's where, again, like a lot of this other stuff is keeping up with the ramp. I think that's going to be fairly important. Like, I do think we need the... Overall, I think this is going to be important, which is the idea of a fast early game and a paced middle and late. Because ultimately, the early game of any card game, like early game Magic, is not as fun as late game Magic. That's kind of the point with a lot of these games. It's, hey, it's a lot more, you've got a lot more stuff to do when you've got like five land cards. You know, if you got 5 land cards, there's a lot of things you can do all of a sudden, and then you get out more land cards and things like that. You know, we want to get past that drawing for land. I do nothing and I draw for land. We want to get past that as fast as possible. We don't want to be stuck in the early game. The early game should be a turn or 2 at best. Let's see. Oh, is this what made everyone want to kill Solid last time? I've forgotten it. Start with 2 lands. Start with 2 lands draw. It's not necessarily the concept of lands. Like, it's the concept of the power card TM. So let's see if we keep the And people are shilling the coffin of Andy and Lele. I look inside of chat and I see the coffin of Andy and Lele. Truly, darkest hours. Actually, no. What am I thinking? Of course, we need to have a deck out scenario, unless we treat like maybe that's like optionally draw a card. Like that's one of the big gimmicks is that you have to you always have the option to draw a card. No. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay. Got 30 cards in my hand. I'm gonna shuffle them up a little bit. Just to shuffle. So as you all know, I do keep a deck of cards by me at all times because I like to shuffling cards sometimes. So let's say we start our hand. Let's say we start our hand with 5 cards. We draw 5. We've got our hand in our hand. We always start with 1. You know, first turn we draw a power card. We can look at our deck and be like, okay, we've got our leader out. Look at our cards and be like, okay, I want to tap it or something. We can't use we legally cannot use the term tap, but we use a power card and we play something, and that's now on our world. Okay, next turn it's our turn again. We put down another card. We put down another power card, and because we have got another power card, we got 2 power cards. We look at our deck. We tap 2 of them. We put down a big card. Oh no, cool, we're doing things. Neato burrito. Okay. 30 cards does seem like a lot, but we might need that. Maybe deck counts as life. Like maybe we tie this together. Whoa. We're just using the, yeah, we're just using the default term lands as default easy. Castle Life was a good game. Fight me, Notepad. Thank you very much, Laura X Lust, for following. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sean, as one might even say. Let's see. The way they bounce back and forth, all very entertaining way. Let's see. So either, again, there's a few different ways we can do this. I mean, if we, what we could do is either A, we use the concept of the leader is leadership power scaling. That's a terrible way of wording that. Either we can do it the idea that leader equal leader health, leader HP equal deck size. So it's like, yeah, you may have a super strong leader, but his deck is actually pretty small, so he doesn't have a lot of options. He's just a super strong character. And, you know, like a glass cannon deck is, I have to win within 3 turns or I'm going to deck myself out. Or we could do the idea of leader equal initial power scaling. Like, so having a weaker leader overall means you have higher... Having a weaker leader does mean that you would start with more resources on the deck. If we're using the term lands, it would be, you have a shitty hero, but because your hero is so dog shit, you start with 3 lands before the game even starts. You have 3 resource cards before anything even begins. Asian twins meet Buck Americana as actually trail the economic power plays between the US and Japan. Well, very welcome. I'll start writing myself. It's great. Very small deck. Let's see. What is the... There's a secret here. There's a secret here, and I wish I could just harass the commissioner, but I know the commissioner is not available at this time because because the commissioner is currently at his job. This is a pain in my ass because I want to say, hey, how do you want to fucking do this? Like, What am I looking at? What am I looking at? So it's like... Actually, if we want to... Alright, so... I'm trying to color code things, by the way. Trying to keep things nice and vaguely color coded. So I know where things are, and okay. Okay, and that's the idea. Like, this is... We're looking at the idea of the ability cards would be in-game. This is you, the character. Because if we're looking at it like this... Because I'm trying to... I remember hearing about this. I think this is important. So if we look at the One Piece card game... So, the idea of the One Piece card game is that what you are is, like, you are effectively, in this scenario, you are Zoro. The player is playing Zoro. He is bringing his friends out to help him fight the enemy. That is currently what's going on. The fight is getting more intense because we are drawing more Adon cards, and we're using all of our friends to beat up the enemy. That is the idea. We run out of life, we have been defeated. Now, if we contrast this to, like, Magic the Gathering, like, if we contrast this to Magic the Gathering, like, let's... In lore, quote unquote, what is occurring when you are playing Magic the Gathering is two planeswalkers are currently beating the shit out of each other, are casting magic missile at one another violently with their autism beams, and bringing out like monsters and stuff. Are you summoning help because you're a planeswalker? You're summoning help to throw at the enemy. When I cast Lightning Bolt at you, and use 2 lands, tap Lightning Bolt, and hit you for 2 damage or whatever, that's me doing that damage to you directly. Because, and in world, that's me shooting a Lightning Bolt at your face. That is what is happening. That is the explanation of events going on. So, I guess what would be the explanation of events occurring here? If we want to do it would be a... There we go. What am I thinking of? What What am I seeing here? What do my shaman eyes see? What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know what it is. And that's driving me insane. It's making me go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And people keep fucking... Like what? Let me just. I guess we're just. You know what? Screw it. Obscure trading card games. Let's get some. Just some. Card. Let's get some TCGs from back in the day and see what we can find. Like, let's just see. All right, there might be something that we're mixing. Maybe we can consult Jihad. All right, we like Jihad, right? Or Vampire: The Eternal Struggle, legally distinct. Let's see. Yeah, there were quite a few different. Yeah, there was quite a few card games back in the day. A lot of them did not survive, obviously, because, well, life happened. See, if Momoji was in here, I would say, hey, what do you know about the L5R card game? Let's see. Out of print, Shadow Fist. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what would be the. Do you want to look at the Babylon 5 collectible card game, everyone? Legend of the Burning Sands, TCG, Austin Powers collectible card game, Monster Farm battle card, Yu-Gi-Oh, Young Jedi, Wheel of Time, Tomb Raider, The Imagination, Pez card game, the Pez card game. Why does Pez have a card game? Why? The Suikoden card stories. Let's see. I had Harry Potter TCG cards back. I had Harry Potter TCG cards back in the day. Oh, hello, hello, Decipher. It's been a while. We haven't seen you in a while. There's the Rifts CCG. Oh, gotta love Rifts. What are we looking at here? Yeah, there's Bandai. Why does the Simpsons have that? Warcry? No. Because I'm trying to think of like what would be like. Are we missing? I feel like we're missing something. Guess we can do like the old Gundam TCG. That might have something. I don't know, man. I'm winging it. SimCity, the fucking How, Bionicle Base. Good Kabarachi, I'll be here on break. I'll be off work in a couple hours. Hello. We're we are slowly and steadily Das Jäger. We are slowly and steadily doing dual stuff. We're going to have a little bit of a talk there, buddy, of what you're looking for. I think I've got the basics. Because we've got our leader card, our deck master, we've got monster, ability cards, and item cards. Right now, we've got things like How do we scale leadership power scalings? How do we break apart leader cards? Is it just going to be monsters tags or something? Do we have to do like a color coding system? How do monster cards function? Are they just set monsters? That means we can have more per deck, but they're static. Do they like level up? Can we synchro summon? I don't fucking know. Do we want to have the Gundam TCG resource card? Do we want to have the One Piece, card game, resource card? I know we want to skip the early game as fast as possible, but like, how do we do this right? And it's like, oh geez, that's why I'm like, what's Vampire the Eternal Struggle about? Like, as you can see, it is a little bit different. Mm. Oh, yeah, we have heresy. Yeah, and then Wing Commander TCG and like Gundam War, so yeah, so they just break it across. Same idea, it looks like. Maybe resources could be more like status effects. I like the resource from Turbo Duel's One Piece game. Builds up without requiring deck space. Speed counters were actually pretty smart as a way to balance spell effects in retrospect. It's Turbo Duels. Let's look at Turbo Duels. Turbo Duels, the dual runner and dual board. Speed World, and seeing as everyone duels on the road is can play, usually everyone who duels on the road is kind of play. Usually when the Turbo Duel starts in the stadium, Arc 5 will shout riding duel acceleration. Let's see. Yes. Turbo duels, ritualistically conducted back in the day. Like, speed counters are only kind of counter used Speed World that enables both play the game speed counters. It's an actual speed of your dual runner. The speed spells require a minimum number of speed counters, require you to pay these counters. Yes, the dual runner or D wheels. God bless him, the D wheel. Get on the wheels. Get on the. Do you want to play the Wii? You want to play the Wii racing game? You want to play the Wii racing game for Yu-Gi-Oh, everyone? Want to play that with me? Breaks into the afterlife is an interesting way of using life points where you need to bet your life to make a monster strong. Yeah, kind of like, it's one of those things like right now we're having kind of a resource crisis. And that resource crisis is how do we want them to interplay with everything? Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Technically does not have a resource system. That is an important caveat in Yu-Gi-Oh! Usually the idea of a quote-unquote resource in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is trying to summon it more correctly. That's kind of the idea. At least from what I remember of Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! in quite a while. Also, remember when Godwin paid a bunch of guys to deconstruct a pyramid in South America and rebuild it in his basement in Japan? Yeah, again, welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Everybody. Like, this is just what we have to deal with. This is just a daily occurrence. Dueling is love. Dueling is life. I think Kaiba would actually die if he had to stop dueling. And he literally did, and he proceeded to duel in the afterlife. Like, I guess we could do the idea of like, hey, like one of the advantages of your leader is that they have a lot more life than everybody else, but you can always burn life to do things. Maybe that's an idea. Fuck. I was so autistic. He warped all of society around his hyperfixation. Yeah, I know. And that's arguably the best part of Kaiba, is that he is like, here's my final ultra autism. Like, no one can have this except me. This is who I am. Screw you. Let's see. Templar, I love your videos, Notepad. Thanks to you, I now own a physical copy of Ryutama, planning on running it soon. Good. Blue Eyes White Jet. No, thank you very much, Templar. No worries. You know, I'm always here. Currently, you're witnessing the behind-the-scenes Notepad Anon, where he beats his head up against a wall in a desperate, flailing attempt to make a card game. It's truly, truly nightmarish. Like, I think the issue I'm having is like, it's like, okay, there's a lot more things to consider than I was initially thinking about. I'm like, fuck. And now I'm trying to get as much of it as, so let's start making some calls. Let's just start making some more controlled ideas. Because we need to break this down. We need to actually get some concepts down. So, first question. How do we want our resource? How do we make a resource? How do I play cards? What is the way I control things? We can use the Gundam TCG concept, or we use the One Piece TCG concept. Both of them kind of work. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush is funny. Not because there's a... What? Not just because there's a 9-foot-tall girl. What are you fucking talking about? That there's a 9-foot-tall woman in the anime. A hand size limit every turn, and that's... So their hand is their resource? Like... I like it how that's like the first thing that pops up, that she's just like 9 feet tall. She's just 10 feet tall. Yeah, why? Why is she 10 feet tall? Why are they in space? No, 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 nope, nope, no, Pad. Don't do this. Don't. How to. Oh my god, the hair gets better each time. Let's see. First thing Vandal knows of dual field scale down, 3 monster zones, spell trap zones. Rather than traditional 5, pendulum extra monster zones don't exist. Something developed with the new series. Mechanics normal summoning has also changed. Typically only have to play normal summon once per turn. Unless they're cheating to enhance the plot, which can be seen pretty often in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. Normal summoners set as many monsters as they wish with a single turn. However, all level 5 must be tribute summoned. All monster effects can only be activated once per turn while they are face up in the field. All this impact how players play in real life. Based on the pace of the duel is much quicker than fans come to expect. This means also the number of cards that come out of a draw have also increased. Rather than getting 1 card per turn during the draw phase, we will continuously add cards to their hand from the top of their deck. A limited number of cards characters have in the tendency since it's occur lose a duel if they run out of the cards too quickly. Other slight tweaks have been made, although largely remain the same. 4,000, 8,000, 40, 60 cards in the main deck. However, there are innovations present. What does fusion summoning work? Fusion summoning plethora a different way. Go on monster in player's field. The spell card fusion has been activated. Okay, so I mean, let's tell me I need to hit the idiot's guide to rush duels. All right, everyone, let's learn how to play a fucking rush duel. Why do I every day I wake up Yu-Gi-Oh, not 5Ds. Rush duel. How do I do a rush duel? Why did it fail? Why did it flop? That's a great start. Why did it flop? Kaiba finds out he can't use 3 blue eyes, white dragons in Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush duels. Thanks, Kaiba. Fuck. These require mother figures. I'll be back in an hour. Yeah, rush duels are actually neat. Actual space is a good reason to have 10-foot women cheat resource in the RPG. About to pull up some super polymerization and do a little trolling. Like, the idea of having, like, one of the ideas, like, I want to have in the TC, like, the TRPG aspect is, like, you, the character, have their... You effectively have heart of the cards bullshit going on, and that should be a mechanic for you, the player character, to have, is... Yeah, hey, I really need a monster card right now. I need to draw my favorite card. I'm activating my heart of the cards. I'm going to look at my deck, grab the card I need right now, put it at the top of my deck, and then miraculously, for no reason at all, draw the card I really need in my deck right now. Ta-da! That's kind of the idea there. So, I mean... You're gonna hurt me. Oh no. Okay, no, just tell me. No. Okay, what's the this rush is just faster. That's like one of the big things. Deck size, 8,000 life points. We're going to play this acceleration. Draw phase, main phase, battle phase, end phase. Standby phase, main phase 2. Starting hand 4, draw first turn. Limited normal tributes and sets, but you only have 3 sections. So if you want to effectively bring out anything strong, you have to burn your deck. That's kind of the idea. You have to burn your deck eventually, and you're always drawing up to max hand size. I guess that would be the idea, is you're always drawing up to max hand size, and you're always burning your deck out as fast as you physically can. So burning your deck out is... Doing a deck burn is probably the... No, nostalgic Yugi boomers. Yeah, so that's against the rules, isn't it? Screw the rules, have rush duels. So I guess that would be the concept of rush duels. Ready to rush, everybody. Have no fear. Hey, ready to rush? Wow! Can't wait for the BBEG to witness my optimized Dragon Maid deck. You don't understand. I have spent countless hours min-maxing my deck. I am a fucking menace. Nani? Sorry, it's only a Toon! Sorry, kids. In this house, the Toon deck wins. Okay. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call it here because I gotta write a script for today. I still have to write a script and do audio and stuff. Yeah, this is my life's great. You want summoning requirements, man? I don't know. Like, that's the problem. I really don't even know like where to start. Like, one thing that I do have, luckily, is that I want to truncate things down. And I think we can maybe do that with the resource system of like, oh, hey, this normally costs 4 to summon or something. So you need to spend or you need to burn 4 of your resource cards here to do. So it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. I tapped all 4 of my lands. I can bring this thing out. And cool. We've got a resource system. Nothing too complicated there. But I was thinking about like, oh, well, maybe you can have like a sacrifice mechanic where it's like, okay, here's a one cost. I can sacrifice him and get +1 to my summon. So I can bring out like, oh, it costs 6 normally. I normally can't use 6. So that means I have to use a special summon to get him out. Like, I've got to do something bigger to get my bigger cards out. And that takes, killing your own guys. Life size model, that one anime woman creature. Have a good rest of the night. Yeah, it's Jesus. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. So, I think I've got... How do I play Two-Headed Giant? Two-Headed Giant wouldn't be too difficult, all things considering. I mean, the idea would be you both have a hero, and you both have a hero card. You're both trying to keep the hero card alive and fight the rest. That's kind of the idea. So it's, hey, you're fighting for your hero. They're fighting with their hero. If either of your heroes go down, you're fucked. That's kind of the idea, because now suddenly you're just fighting more guys. All right. I'm gonna think on this. I've got the idea. It's not great, but I wasn't being spirit. I was just expected to shut the fuck up. I think this is going to be the kind of thing where I literally need to just sit down one day and just write it out. Like, get my notebook, get my pen, sit in a coffee shop for like an hour and just write it. Because this is a little bit of uncharted territory. I think I see what I want. I can see it in my noggin. But my noggin is very unreliable. So I'm trying to think of like, okay, how do I get everything to work properly? I can do that. Like, if I can get this to work just the way I want. Because what effectively, I guess the question would be is, do any of you know a fast TCG? I mean, like, one that's finished in like 15 minutes. You get your deck out, you start playing, 15-20 minutes, you're done. Because that is one serious thing that I am concerned about. And I think that that's one very large thing I am concerned about, which is the idea that it's, oh, well, Yugi is dueling Kaiba. What the fuck is Joey my Jaden? I believe that was his name. Like, and what are the other characters doing? They're not doing anything, because that's the point. Magic, if both players know how to play them out. Well, that even kind of depends on the deck. That, like, sometimes you get a deck that, like, okay, I cast 3 things and you die. Other decks are like, okay, like kind of Card Wars went fast when I played. Hell, it's something to look at. That's an idea. Can play the monsters Yugi summons. Like, honestly, that's an idea. Alternatively, we make the assumed format. This is horrible. This is a dog shit, horrific idea. We make the assumed format many players versus many players. With the idea being, hey, I'm one guy fighting 4 people. And because there are I'm fighting 4 people, here are the rules now to compensate. So, hey, all of us are having to fight Kaiba. Kaiba's now got bullshit rules now because he's a one-man army. If we want to go down that angle, like, that is a completely valid and fucked angle to do. We build the entire assumption that it's like, yeah, you have to play two-headed. How do I want? What if the assumed game was Two-Headed Giant? I think that's a very good way of thinking about it. What was that? That was the default format, not an alt format, not a esoteric. No, that was the default. I don't know how that would work. I don't know how any of this works, man. I am fucking winging it. So, what I'm going to do is I both hate and like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you all. So, a little bit of homework, otherwise known as getting you to do things for me. If you find a TCG or something with that idea, feel free to tell me about it. Just PM me and I'll look at it. I'm looking at anything at this point. I'm like, oh shit. Uh-oh. Oh no. Yeah, no, it's I'm hoping for the best there. Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna be doing the Crime Fighters video. I don't think Crime Fighters is going to be a very long video, but maybe that's a good thing. Wednesday, we will continue doing this. What I want to have happen on Wednesday is I want to have the most basic setup of the card game done. Not how to build cards yet, not how to build anything like that. I just want to have the most basic premise of, by the end of that stream, how do I get cards in my hand? How do I play those cards in my hand? And what do each of those cards do? And why do they do the things they do? And that is going to be a unique proposition. We do have to... I never made the schedule for this week, by the way, because I forgot. Because I woke up very early this morning, and I was like, I'm going to do the schedule. And then I went shopping, and then I forgot. Because my life is falling apart. It do be that way sometimes. So, I'm going to go. Godspeed, good luck, do your job, and to all of you, do my job for me. All right, I am, as they say, away.